Maybe that's a little bit better. Good evening. Good Monday. Happy long weekend, Canadians. Victoria Day long weekend. We are going to be, I don't even know, I think it's like 12 days till the butterfly ball. 12 days till the butterfly ball. 9 days until I give my presentation to the IEP. Holy smokes. And I'm doing a quantum future self workshop for my community on Wednesday. And a quantum future self workshop, what I mean by that is that when I ran the original Stepmom story, I got people to do a future self letter 1 year in the future. Usually when I get my clients to come in, we set a future self letter for 1 year in the future. And the way that looks is basically like, dear me, right? It is now this date in the future, and it is now May 25th. It is now, I don't even know what day it is right now. It is now May 15th. See, I don't know what day it is. It's now May 15th, 2026. And you're never going to believe the year we just had. And then what I get my clients to do in that time is imagine what life looks like a year from today. Okay, so it's now May 25th. I don't know, I keep saying that. 2026. You're never going to believe the year we just had. This is all the stuff that happened. This is all the stuff that happened in a year. And most of the time, hi Mandy, most of the time when people do a future self letter for that year ahead, what I've noticed is that the first draft people write is usually something like, I feel comfortable in my house is clean, I feel respected, I feel appreciated, my partner is nice to me, my partner sees me, my partner appreciates me, my partner recognizes me, my stepkids recognize me, my parents appreciate me. In the first year, when I ask people to let themselves start to dream about what life could look like a year from today, a lot of the time, what I've noticed when people come in as their first awakening to this work is that everything is relational. In other words, what I notice is that when I ask people to come in and imagine their life a year in the future, their energy and their attention is so attached to relational drama that it's hard to imagine anything could happen kind of beyond that relational drama. And so in setting that future self letter for that 1 year in the future, right, we can really get a good understanding of kind of where people are at in the moment, because the things that people write for being a year in the future are usually things that they think are like really not possible. Okay. And so I ask, I go through our process and I get people to dream into, what do you want your body to look like? What do you want your mind to feel like? What do you want your spirit to be doing? Right. And by spirit, I mean, what sense of meaning, what sense of purpose do you want? We go through our workshop. Again, I'm running another one on Wednesday. I'm running one on Wednesday. This Wednesday coming up, the 21st, actually, I'm running a Future Self Quantum. So why I'm running a Future Self Quantum is because I have written so many future self letters, and I'm going through, I found an old notebook because I was trying to figure out what I used to write in my future self letters, and I'm trying to find old journals and stuff, and I found some gold from 2020, which is really exciting. So I'm gonna read some stuff that I found in my kind of my first future self letters that I had written. Now, there's nothing wrong with writing that you want a year from now, that you want your relationships to be really good. There's nothing wrong with that at all. The reason that I'm bringing this up is because I have noticed that the reason we start with a future self letter is because one of my favorite questions is if you don't know where you're going, how will you know when you get there? And usually when people would come into your stepmom story or Peace Love Stepmom or the whole step family, because I am a vision-oriented coach, because I'm a future working coach, right? Because we work from the future, I need to know what I'm helping clients to do. I need to know what I'm helping clients to do with me. I need to know what we're doing together so that I can hold the vision for them and call them out and call them up and expand them when they're dropping their power in things that are not directed at the intention, not directed at the vision, not directed at where we're going. So usually when I ask people, what do you want to be doing a year from now? People are like, well, I don't know, right? I have no idea. And that's okay, right? That's okay, because we don't live in that kind of world that encourages us to dream and encourages us to think about what we're going to pack for lunch tomorrow to go to the job that we fucking hate. And who's going to drive the kids, and you know, there's so much life stuff, there's so much earth stuff that can get in the way of dreaming. So in dreaming a year from now, it can be really hard to imagine a day that's anything unlike the day that you're currently living. And when our clients come in after they write their future self letter, what I get them to do then, one of the things I get them to do then is I get them to basically budget their resources, budget their currency. And the resources that I work with really intentionally inside of all of our programs are time, energy, and money. Okay, so you write a future self letter. You say, "Dear me, it is now this day, this time in the future," right? It's now May 15th, 2026. You're never going to believe the year that we just had. These are the things that came true. These are the things that I want to have. These are the things I would be really excited. If this happened by this time next year, I would be super excited. I would be beside myself. It's meant to be a stretch. It's meant to be uncomfortable. It's meant to be things that you don't think are going to happen, right? And then what we do is we figure out, okay, if that is a matter of fact what you want your life to look like a year from today, then where do you need to intentionally put your time? Where do you need to intentionally put your energy? Where do you need to intentionally put your money so that your resources are focused on that goal, right? If my goal is to grow a carrot, right? If I want to plant a garden and grow a carrot, then I need to direct my energy, my time, my energy, and my money to buying carrot seeds, preparing a garden plot, making sure I put time on my calendar so that I can go out there and pull the weeds. The first time I ever grew a garden, it completely turned to weeds because I didn't know how to take care of a garden. And I sent my grandma a picture of my garden at the end of the year because I didn't go and keep it weeded and I didn't thin it out. And it was just, the birds got into it. It was just... The birds got into it. I couldn't figure out I'm like, where's all my peas going? So I sent a picture to my grandma and it had all turned to weeds. And so if what I want to do a year from today is grow a carrot, right? I'm like, it's now May 15th, 2026, and I want to grow a carrot because I think that that's impossible. Then I need to direct my time, my energy, and my money into buying carrot seeds, creating fertile ground, right? Making sure I'm investing my sunshine, investing my water, investing in this seed to turn it into a carrot, right? But if I'm like, I want to grow a carrot and then I scroll TikTok for a year, I don't have TikTok. I can't wake up and be like, holy shit, I didn't grow a carrot. Like, no shit, right? Of course. And so when people are like, I want to be rich in a year, and then we're like scrolling TikTok or doing whatever, it's not about saving money. You can never save your way. You cannot save your way to infinite wealth. You cannot save your way to infinite wealth. It's not possible, because if you are saving your way to infinite wealth, it means that you are trapped in a scarcity mindset. And if you're trapped in a scarcity mindset, it means that you think there's not enough of something. And if you think that there's not enough of one thing, how you do something is how you do everything. So if you think there's not enough of one thing, you will think there's not enough of all the things. Okay, this is the way that it works until you start to untangle it. But how you do something is how you do everything. So 1 year from today, I want to grow a carrot. Okay. So what we started to notice is that people were stretching themselves and identifying things that they wanted to shift in their relationships, which makes sense because people come to me to help them align their relationships, right? Align their masculine and feminine energetics, align the polarity in their relationship, make sure that their dharmas are pointing in the same way, make sure that both people are in a state of personal responsibility where they're able to create safety and security and support for each other inside of that container. And when we are wanting to grow a carrot, but we're laying awake at night thinking about who else has carrots, how big other people's carrots are, what color other people's carrots are, what we are not doing is we are not tending to our carrot. We are not watering it. We are not putting sunshine on it, right? We're not going and telling other people that we're going to be growing a beautiful carrot. We're not investing in the carrot. We're investing in the relationships that actually don't have anything to do with our own carrot, but that we think have something to do with our carrot. So when I've noticed we've done so many future self letters with so many people, and we've heard so many people time and time again be like, holy shit, I can't believe it. Everything in my future self letter has come true. I've heard this so many times from our clients. Every single thing I put in my future self letter has come true. Every single thing. This is who I am now. Right? This is just who I am now. And that's extraordinary. And this goes to show a few things. Number one is how important it is to have who you are going to become down on paper. Because if you don't know where you're going, how will you know when you get there? If you don't know whether you're growing a carrot or making a carrot cake or becoming a carrot farmer, right? Like if you don't know where you're going, how will you know when you get there? So when I set the vision of becoming a Nobel Peace Prize winner, right? That's really what I was doing. I was doing a future self letter on steroids, a quantum future self letter. That's why we're doing a future self quantum workshop inside of our community, the Peace Palace, on Wednesday, May 21st. Okay. So I just want to show you like the power of writing a vision down, because I wrote this in 2020. I wrote this in 2020. And I haven't looked at it since. So this is 5 years later. Okay. Where is it? Hold on. Okay. This isn't the right page. I should have had it on there. It's okay. We'll go together. There's just so many. I wish I wouldn't have thrown away all my journals. I threw away so many of my journals because I was so ashamed of them. Like I was so ashamed of who I was at the time. And now I just wish so badly. I wish so badly that I did not do that. There was something really good that I read and then I closed my page. Oh, here it is. I was talking about fear. I was talking about my fears. Okay. So I was talking about my fears of becoming who I was. Let me find it. It's going to be worth it, I promise. Okay. Your biggest limitation, this is me to myself back when this is 2021. I lied to you. Your biggest limitation is believing you have limitations. Be relentless about dismissing thoughts that do not support your vision. I don't know is a lazy answer. When I plan, this is an act of self-love, and I can't get it wrong. Whatever you look for in your life, you will find proof of. Expectations are a cage we put ourselves in on behalf of other people. Other people's opinions of you are none of your business. And that's not what I wanted to, that's not the future self vision that I wanted to read to you, but those are important things. Maybe I'm not going to be able to find them. Start with the end in mind. Anything you want is coming from within. Any desire has already been created as a probability of existence. Anything you want is coming from within. Any desire has already been created as a probability of existence. Okay. Which means if you have like a hunch, if you're like, there's this thing that I wanted to do, but it's absolutely fucking insane, like winning a Nobel Peace Prize, and you're like, no, who am I to do that? If you are having the thought about something, that means it's already there. It means it already exists as being a pathway that you would be able to follow. Like you can't imagine things. You cannot imagine things that don't have a possibility of becoming true. Everyone wants to go to the place where they say how right away, right? And this is why I'm doing Future Self Quantum on Wednesday, because when we do Future Self Quantum, we get to do Future Self in a couple of different layers where we don't get trapped in the how, because we just get connected to the energetic of where we're becoming. People let their of course we don't know what we're doing. I have no fucking idea how I'm going to win a Nobel Peace Prize. Like I have no fucking idea how I'm going to do that. I have a good body of work, and I am very convincing, and I get in important rooms, and I get microphones in important rooms, but I don't have a fucking clue, right? And so if I sat down to write my future self letter and I said it's 1 year in the future and we won a Nobel Peace Prize, I wouldn't have been able to go to that place, right? Because I would have been like, there's no way I'm going to win a Nobel Peace Prize in a year, because I don't fucking know how to do that. But when I started to do Future Self Quantum, I'm like, okay, 20 years from now, I can totally see myself winning a Nobel Peace Prize, because I do a lot of cool shit and I'm really smart and I always show up for myself, and I've done lots of really hard things, and I've started lots of businesses. I've been doing startups. I've been doing startups since I was a kid, right? I've been opening bars and opening restaurants and opening companies and opening stores in the mall. Like I've always been in startup energy. It's always been part of me. So it makes sense, right? So when I think about who would you be if you already had what you wanted, and I think 20 years from now, it's now this day, 2045, and you've won a Nobel Peace Prize, I can find that, right? I can feel that, and I can be like, fucking A, I have. Absolutely, I have. And then I don't get trapped in the how. I'm not like, okay, I've got some time to figure it out, right? I just need to see where I'm going and trust myself to find my way there. That's all it's about. Okay? Notes from my past self. There's a reason it's called growing pains and not growing pleasure. Lean into the discomfort, participate courageously, celebrate both wins and failures. Practice makes progress, deliver results. This is me writing down my company values. This is me writing down my company values before I hired my first employee back in, when this has been 2021. Authenticity always. Great businesses are built by great teams. A fucking men to that. And great teams are made of great humans. A fucking men to that. And I've worked with some great humans in my lifetime. Stay in alignment with your highest and most authentic self unapologetically. Always be honest. Be vulnerable, transparent. Be you. I mean, past me knew what she was talking about. Words are wands. Say what you mean what you say. And hold true to your word. Stay in your power. Own your role in decision-making, process, and outcome. Remain 100% personally responsible. Done. I've identified these values. I've been living in alignment with these values for many years now. Share with delight. Our clients and their families and our team are everything. Support their uniqueness and embrace their humanness. Show up to overjoy, delight, and serve. Spread joy wherever you go. This is so cute. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you. Okay, so this vision I wrote. This is the vision that I wrote before I hired my very first employee. Her name was Suzanne. Suzanne, if you're watching this, hi. Suzanne was an angel. We had such a good little rhythm going between us. I was putting on a podcast every single week. She was taking my podcast. She would turn it into a blog post. She would turn it into social media content for me. She would do all of the legwork for me. I just had to show up and record a podcast. And then when she was working for me, that's when we got in the top 2.5% of podcasts in the whole entire world. I used to be on the top 2.5 podcasts in the whole entire world. We were top 10 relationship podcasts for like an entire year, which is really fucking cool. Podcasting is so fun. I can't wait to get back started with it. Now that we got the government to pay for it, we still have to go through the grant pathway, but we're getting the government to pay for our work now, which is really fucking cool. Okay, so here's the vision. Here's the vision that I wrote back in. It's got to be 2021. You'll see that it hasn't changed a whole lot, but I forgot about this vision. Like I said, I have not looked back in this book. Vision. To disrupt society's narrative of what is considered normal in families. Check. To break harmful generational cycles and to normalize non-nuclear family systems. So that listen, here it is. That we've already done that, okay? Breaking harmful generational cycles, check. Normalize non-nuclear family systems, check, right? Like normalizing step families. Everyone's in a step family. Everyone's from a divorced home or from a step family or from a single parent home, right? Like it's normalized and it seems to have, at least where I stand, it seems to have come a long way with the stigma of what it means to be in a step family. But here it is. Here's the clincher, okay? Disrupt society's narrative of what's considered normal in families. Okay. And then break harmful generational cycles, normalize non-nuclear family systems, so that, here it is, okay, 2021, I was talking about this, so that every human on this planet can feel safe, loved, and accepted in the walls of their homes. Peace on earth begins with peace at home. I didn't know that that's what that was yet. but I was already envisioning it. I was already dreaming it into existence. I was already connected to the vision of that, right? I was already anchored in the vision of that. I didn't know 5 years ago that this was going to be a world peace movement. Disrupt society's narrative of what is considered normal in families. Now I'm disrupting the way that, what I'm disrupting, the narrative that I'm disrupting in that is the way that we treat each other and treat ourselves and the way that it feels for a lot of people to be at home, right? Home is supposed to be a sanctuary. I've worked with so many stepmoms who are like, I just need one place in my house. I've had so many stepmom clients build themselves a little sanctuary inside of their closet, like a little cove to go and hang out inside of, something that belongs to you, smells like you, is yours alone, a sanctuary, right? It's really important that we have a place to be able to go and breathe and take your bra off, let your hair down, undo the top button. It's really important that we have that place to be able to go and melt. And so at the time I was still really working along the step family path, right? Because that's what brought me into this work. And I was like, they're asking for peace. So here I'm going to do it. So that every human on this planet can feel safe, loved, and accepted in the walls of their homes. I didn't know I was going to win a Nobel Prize yet. I hadn't dreamt that into existence yet. Right? I had not dreamt that into existence yet. I didn't know that was real. I just knew that that's where I wanted to go. Okay. Now, actually, I just did a live on Scorpio full moon, which is really funny that if I'm going back here, I'm seeing patterns in the times that I have been pulling lots of stuff down out of the ethers. I have patterns. Actually, on Friday, every Friday, to the best of my ability, every Friday I try and go meet Spirit Quest Dave at the Matart Conservatory at the garden that you guys always see me at. And he always says really aware, amazing things. We had the best time of our whole entire lives on our Spirit Quest. There was one adventure that we were going on, and he and I were hiking up the mountain, and we were singing Creed at the top of our lungs, with arms wide open under the sunlight. And we were just hearts open, throats open, singing at the top of our lungs so loud. And people were walking past us with their dogs, looking at us. And we just were we were what was that much music? That much music, hits, big shiny tunes. We were big shiny tunes up the mountain, and we just had the time of our lives. But David and I, Club Shakti represent, David and I were at the Matart last Friday. We try to get together once a week, at the Matart, and once a month for Club Shakti. And, he made a mention about something being in bloom, and I had this acknowledgement, oh my God, of course, that's why so many things are happening for me right now, because it's springtime, and springtime is when things blossom, right? Springtime is when things blossom. Springtime is also when Scorpio full moon is out, and I'm a Pisces, and Scorpio and Pisces are both water signs. So there's a lot of emotional movement. And now I'm water. I say this all the time, right? I am water. And why that is important is because me being water impacts the way that I show up in the world, right? I am fluid. The river giveth and the river taketh away, right? I can't get stagnant or I go rotten. I need to be moving. I need to be moving at the right pace. And I change shape. I change state, right? There's a lot of relationship between myself and my zodiac, not because I believe in magic necessarily, but because I see patterns, and patterns are coincidences that you see over and over again. And there's actually no such thing as a coincidence. There's only God's plan, divine plan, universe's plan, written in the stars, karma, dharma, whatever you want to call it. It's written. It is. It is the way it is. It is the way it is. And we have, I won't get into that. Anyway, Scorpio full moon. I did a live on Scorpio full moon. On Scorpio full moon. I'm not sure when it would have been, in 2021-ish. It was April 26th. So we'll have to go back and check. It says Scorpio full moon on there. It's also on my YouTube channel. It'll be easier to find. It's just like this uploaded on YouTube, but it'll be easier to find there probably. And I think I might have done something inside of our community, inside of the Peace Palace. So fun. I think we might have done something inside of the Peace Palace, like a sexual practice, because Scorpio emotion is usually tied to sexuality and creativity. It doesn't just, anyway, I won't get too far down here. Okay, so April 26, 2021. Am I avoiding any deep emotions because I'm afraid to face my shadow self? Okay. All in all, I initially say to myself that I'm comfortable and safe with my emotions, but I know I am stuffing shame. I can't read my own writing. I know I'm stuffing shame something down because of my drinking. I was still drinking in 2021. It feels good to have something that is just mine. Okay, right? Just my own secret. At times, I can't read my writing. At times, I feel stifled by being expected to be completely transparent with Seamus, soon to be ex-husband. I need privacy of thought and action, privacy of mind, privacy of being, separateness and freedom. He knows me better than anyone, but he does not know the full me, the real me. Do I? Who the fuck am I? Why am I here? To transform pain into power? To alchemize. I'm an alchemist, a medicine woman, a goddess, a priestess. I'm all of you and all of me, and we are who we are. The light cannot exist without the dark. I'm probably gonna stop there so that I don't take you down this rabbit hole of our culture. I'm gonna say this is one last thing. Our culture has very tightly woven together stories about time and money. But what did money ever do to you that makes it your scapegoat like that? This is not a matter of not having enough money to be able to do the things that bring you spaciousness and fulfillment and joy. It's a matter of the value that you assign to your time. And whether or not you believe me right now, you'll soon come to realize that you have in fact chosen to prescribe a dollar value to your time based on the identity that you form throughout your lifetime. Not to mention, how many times have you heard stories about super wealthy people who never ever take a day off and work 16 hours a day and are too busy for pleasure? Lots, right? Busyness has absolutely nothing to do with money and everything to do with value. And then I write that down. Busyness has absolutely nothing to do with money and everything to do with value. Value your time like you value your money, and you'll find yourself having plenty of both. I think I teach that inside of your busy story, I'm pretty sure. Time poverty. I teach on time poverty in your busy story. If you're inside of the original stepmom story, Peace Out Stepmom, Whole Step Family, you probably have access to the busy story. If you're watching this and you want access to it, send me a message and I will get you hooked up with a link. Your busy story is something that completely changed my life, and I'll give you the Coles notes of it. But once upon a time, I had a mentor ask me the question, and this is a good question for you to do as you're like dreaming into your future self. Put Wednesday on the calendar if you want to come to our Quantum Future Self letter, setting yourself an intention for 20 years in the future. That's how I just basically fast-tracked my advancement toward a Nobel Peace Prize as I started working 20 years in the future. So come to our Future Self Quantum on Wednesday. But in the meantime, I want you to sit with this question. I want you to ask yourself this question. Okay. What is an hour of your time worth? What is 1 hour of your time worth? There's no right answer. There's no right answer. But if you have one before Wednesday, bring it. When I realized how many things that I was doing with my time that not only didn't even pay me as much as I was making in a job, but that were costing me money, I started to be able to really, really clearly, like we were talking about at the beginning of this conversation, I started to really, really clearly be able to redirect my time, my energy, and my money toward the carrot seed, right? If I was like, if every hour of my time has a value of a raindrop or an acid drop, right? How many acid drops? This isn't a good metaphor. This is not a good metaphor at all. It's not a good metaphor. Basically what I'm saying is, time, energy, and money have an interplay. People think that they're separate, but time, energy, and money are all currency. And we teach how to generate infinite currency inside of your body from your neurochemistry, from your brain, from your power centers inside of your body. Energetic currency, time, energy, money, resources, energetic resource currency is generated internally. We've all been fed a lie that it comes from a job, but that's not true, because then we're just dependent on someone else. It can come through a job, right? Currency can come through a job. Time, energy, and money can come through a job. You can become receptive for time, energy, and money to come through to you, right? If you're in receivership, but most people aren't in receivership. Most people are in efforting. Most people are in like sending away. So if you start to recognize the relationship between time, energy, and money, and you start to notice where your thoughts are going, if they're not directed toward a future you, whether it's 1 or 20 years in the future, you're literally just pouring your life force down the drain. Right? Your life force is currency. Your time, your energy, money are currencies. So sit with that question. What is an hour of your time worth? And anyone who ever starts working with me and anyone who ever starts working for me, one of my favorite questions to ask is, how much per hour do you want to make? I literally just said to Sarah last week, if you want to start making $10,000 an hour, you just got to let me know. Like that, it's I'm not fucking around. Like, you literally, the first time someone paid me $200 for an hour of my time, I still have a reminder that goes off on my phone every single year as like an anniversary, because I thought that, and there's nothing wrong with any amount of money that people make for their time. That's not the point. Does the value that you're putting on your time match the value of your time? And there was a time where I was making 6 figures as a registered nurse, and that was pretty good. That was a pretty good salary, right? And then I realized, after someone paid me $200 for 1 hour of my time, I realized that I had 5x'd already what I thought was going to be like my maximum income for the rest of my life. It was such a like cognitive dissonance for me. I was like, what? I thought I was going to be making $40 an hour as a nurse for the rest of my life. You mean to tell me I can make $200 an hour? I have a reminder that goes off my phone every single year when that comes up. Next time it happens, I'll share it. I'm not sure when it is. That's why I'm not good with dates. That's why I have reminders in my phone. But that idea of like literally just pick a number, like that's people don't want you to know this. People don't want you to know this. But how much do you want an hour of your time to be worth? If you want it to be worth $10,000 an hour, okay. You literally can just say that. And then we get to figure out how to make that happen inside of Sex, Money, Power, our hive mind. It's not a mastermind, it's a hive mind. It's a conscious business community focused on regenerative capitalism and ethical energetic standards, and making sure that we are building businesses that are dharmically aligned and soul led and vision driven and built on foundations of integrity, not extortion, not extraction, not manipulation. Building safe workplaces for our teams, building safe workplaces for our communities, building safe workplaces where people don't feel like they're trapped. I just did a podcast interview a couple nights ago with my friend Zorananda, who's also a yogi, And he was saying, I'm so grateful that I have a podcast, because podcasts are a little bit fringe, yeah? Because we get to circumvent censorship with a podcast. And Zorananda was like, I'm so glad I work in a family company, basically, because I can say whatever I want on my podcast without being worried about getting fired. And of course I pushed on that, right? But not on that specifically, but because we live in a world where people are so they're afraid to be who they are because they're afraid to be fired. They're afraid to be who they are because they're afraid to get canceled. They're afraid to be who they are because they're afraid to get divorced, right? They're afraid to be who they are because they're afraid to lose everything. Like, of course, that makes a lot of sense. So that's why we're running Sex, Money, Power, is so that people who run companies, right, who are responsible for employing other people, who are responsible for supporting other people with products, programs, services, offerings, whether those are digital or physical, right, whether that's business to business, business to consumer, whether that's somebody who just has an idea for something, right? If you're like, I've always wanted to be a writer and I've always wanted to write a book, like me, right? I've always wanted to be a writer and I've always wanted to write a book. It's probably because you got a legacy buried in there somewhere. And so it's a really good idea when you're structuring your company to be able to do it from a place where the first offer you put out is a $25,000 offer. Like, all these coaches out there trying to get people to like make their way to millions by selling like a $9 a month fucking membership. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Like, just start where it makes sense. Just start. I'll help you build a $25,000 offer. I'll help you sell it with no paid ads, traffic, organically, authentically, regeneratively, profitably, alignedly, and have the time of your life doing it. And I got a baby on my hip. I'm getting divorced, right? My kids aren't in daycare. My baby's not in daycare. She's home with me. We go for a walk every single day. We laugh. We have lots of fun. I do Club Shakti. I go to the bar. I'm back in the bar once a month or twice a month. Dancing, DJ dancing, right? I was dancing in the DJ booth with a world-class DJ a couple weeks ago. Felix Cartel. It might have been last month already. I used to spend a lot of time in the bar when I drank. And I don't drink anymore, so I don't spend a lot of time in the bar. But it's so much fun to go out and dance like nobody's watching, right? Club Shakti. Represent. Club Shakti. It's so fun, you guys. You have no idea. Club Shakti is the funnest time ever. Like, going to the bar, reclaiming that like energy of being in the bar and good music and just like drinking water all night and shaking my tail feathers and looking around the room and being like, I am the fucking most powerful bitch in this room. And I know exactly how all you guys are operating. Right? Like, it feels good. It feels really good because there's a version of me who used to like want to be picked by the guys that had all the money. Right? Now it's like, that don't impress me much. So yeah. Little Shania, Canadian girl. More Canadian girls. Canadian girls are wicked. Okay, what was I saying? Value of your time. How much do you want an hour of your time to be worth? And what is preventing you from believing that you can just charge that right now, right? Any coach out there who's like, start with a low ticket membership, start charging a couple $100 an hour, like, to reach, don't do that. I guarantee you there is something that you have inside of your mind that somebody would very quickly pay you $25,000 for. I guarantee you. I have seen the things that people pay money for. I have seen the things that people pay money for, large dollar value, large amounts of money for. I have done it. I have done it. Once upon a time, I sold a $30,000 offer to somebody I'd never met or talked to before in my entire life. What? I mean, $30,000 in 1 hour? Well, if I did it once, I can do it again. And then I did a pitch in 1 hour. I presented a sales offer, a presentation for $250,000. And they told, in 1 hour, and they told me I wasn't asking for enough money. If I could make $250,000 in 1 hour once, why can't I do that again? So now, You can literally do whatever you want to do. You can literally be whatever you want to be. You can literally charge whatever the fuck you want to charge. I'm not making this up. Like, I want people to hear this. You can just choose a number. You can just choose a number. You can just not do shit you don't want to do. You literally don't have to do anything you don't want to do ever again. You literally don't have to do that. I wish somebody, I'm sure people did try to tell me this, but like, I wish somebody would have like said it like this, like, no, you literally don't. But I get all the fear, right? I get all the process. I've been doing this stuff for a long time now. So let's see if there's anything else here. Let's see if there's anything else here. April 28th, 2021. This is it. And then I'm logging off out of here. Do I want to read that? Every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. When I say yes to being a chauffeur, I say no to my exercise routine. Interesting. Priorities help us determine what we need to do versus what we believe we should do in order to be valuable. Busy is an excuse to avoid problems. Man, young Brittany knew what she was talking about. Young blood, young Brittany knew what she was talking about. Man, I did some good work in my early days. This is so exciting. I'm so excited, you guys. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about what's coming up. I'm so fucking proud of myself. I am so fucking proud of myself. If you knew me when I was young, you'd be proud of me too. I'm so fucking proud of myself. I kick ass. April 28th, 2021. I am not my thoughts. I am not my thoughts. I am not my feelings. I am not my relationships. I am not my diagnoses. So who am I? I'm the smell of fresh coffee in the morning. I'm the heat of the sun. Just during that time of the year when winter melts into spring and the rays are finally waking. I am the stormy ocean, deep, unpredictable, flowing. I am the tears of a babe and the loving hand of the mama who wipes them. I am the boom of thunder and the blooms that follow the rain. I am, and then I am no longer. I am fluid and yet firm. I am for and yet against. I am his and I am no one's, not even mine. I am an illusion. I just am. Okay, cool shot. Peace Palace. We're at founding member rate right now. Get in while you can. Peace Palace. If you are anyone from a step family, whether you were a stepchild when you were a kid, you had a step parent when you were a kid, and now you're married, and you're not going to get divorced, but you came from a step family, and no one ever explained why. Right? There's a reason we get into step families. Plain and simple. There's this very specific pattern that causes people to be in step families. I've never met anyone that doesn't have it. And I've worked with a lot of people in step families. So Peace Palace is for anyone who came from like a non-traditional home. Hey, like my vision. Hey, like that vision. Where'd that go? Hey, I just clicked that into place. That's fun. Oh, I'm going to lose it now. Come back to me. Vision. To disrupt society's narrative of normal families, to break harmful generational cycles, and to normalize non-nuclear family systems. Hey? Peace Palace. So that every human on this planet can feel safe, loved, and accepted in the walls of their homes. Peace at home, peace on earth. Walk with us. Take a video of yourself walking. All you got to do in your mind, you just got to set your intention, right? Time, energy, money. Energy is currency. And if you think I'm just taking steps for world peace, one step at a time, one of the things my early clients know that I say all the time is, what's the best way to eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Right? What's the best way to eat an elephant? One bite at a time. What's the best way to win a Nobel Peace Prize? Not 1 year at a time, 20 years at a time. What's the best way to get to world peace? One step at a time, right? One foot in front of the other. One bite at a time. Okay. What was I saying? Who knows? Club Shakti represent Peace Palace. Peace Palace for anyone in a non-nuclear family system. Whether that was as a kid or currently, whether you're a single parent, a widowed parent, a recoupled parent, you have a co-parent, your parents got divorced when you were a kid, your dad left when you were a kid, your mom died when you were a kid, any of these things. They died when you were a teenager and you, right? Like anyone who's came from if you didn't live in a family that was like mom, dad, married, 2.2 kids forever and ever and ever, then Peace Palace is for you. Sex, Money, Power is for conscious business owners, ethically aligned business owners, regenerative capitalism. Butterfly Ball, holy smokes, you guys. Butterfly Ball is in like less than 2 weeks. Butterfly Stinking Ball, Panorama Mountain Resort, British Columbia. It's fucking beautiful, beautiful mountains. We're going in the springtime. There's like 3 different climates. There's like desert climate, mountain climate, forest climate. I'm not using the right words, but you know what I'm talking about. It is so stunning there. It is so gorgeous there. I'm so excited to go there. It is like literally heaven on earth. It is the most beautiful place I've ever been in my whole entire life. It's just outside of Invermere, BC, if you've ever been to Invermere. We have Butterfly Ball tickets there. I'm going to be interviewing a Major League Baseball player for one of our podcast episodes, which I'm really excited about. And we are going to be having the time of our lives. It's a sober event, of course. I don't drink. I don't believe in alcohol anymore. I'm no longer energetically compatible with it. So we'll have the time of our lives. Club Shakti at the Butterfly Ball. If you're not able to travel for whatever reason, excuses, but if you're not able to travel, if your excuses won't allow you to travel for the Butterfly Ball, for the once in a lifetime historical opportunity to see a world peace movement birthed by somebody who was literally a social outcast, a social fucking write-off, and now I'm in the news, you guys. I'm in the news. But I've been doing this, like this literally, yes, it's all happening right now, but I've been doing this for a long time, right? Like I've been working towards this for a long time. It looks like it's all happening overnight. Something I used to say all the time. It took me 7 years to become an overnight success. And literally that's what's fucking happening right now. It took me 7 years it took me 7 years, like to the fucking day. Because I kept saying that. It took me 7 years to become an overnight success. It's something I've been saying forever. Yeah, this is so cool. I'm just opening more things up here. Couples counseling. I thought, this is so funny. I thought, it's, okay, here it is. It's now March 2nd, 2024, and I've just blown my first $100,000 launch out of the water. See, I thought by 2024, I'd be having $100,000 launches, not selling $250,000 offers in 1 hour. Here I was saying, couples counseling, $200 an hour. I'm like plotting my business out here. Yeah. This is so cool. This is so cool. I'm so glad I have this book. I wish I had more of them. Yeah, okay. I've been in therapy 4 years. This is a client. I've been in therapy 4 years. I've had it up to my ears. The way he is with her. Everything's off balance with her. I'm not happy. It's bleeding into my personal life. When things are off, my body screams at me. I don't want to feel like she's a part of my everyday. The promise he made at the beginning isn't this life. This is reality, guys. This is reality. Safe, loved, supported. In our homes. Everyone deserves it. Peace on earth begins with peace at home. Peace on earth begins with peace at home. Peace on earth begins with peace at home. Donate your steps with your intentions, time, energy, money. Donate your currency to the earth. I step for world peace. Come to the Butterfly Ball. If your excuses won't allow you to come there in person before our tickets sell out, we are streaming the Butterfly Ball live. We have people from Australia. We have people from the UK. We have people from the United States. We have people from Canada. We have people from Africa, Nigeria. So we're already a global movement. Butterfly Ball, we are going to be streaming live. To do our walk for world peace and some other celebrations as well. So we're offering that for pay what you can, which is crazy. but it's inclusive. I came from nothing. So I want there to be opportunities for every single person to be able to participate regardless of resource. And if you are not wanting to donate even one single dollar to a good cause, that's fine. You can donate your steps, right? Like energy is still currency. If you can just set your intention, I'm taking steps for world peace. That's it. Right? And if you're not able to do either of those, then I don't know why you follow me. Quantum, Future Self Quantum, this Wednesday, May 21st, inside of our Peace Palace community app, off Facebook community app. Yes, you can be anonymous if you wish. I only got one spot for Spirit Quest left this year, but I started doing Shakti Den, which is 4 to 6 hour ceremonies instead of a 6-month container. Which I really am loving doing. They're lots of fun. That's when I roll up to your house or your hotel room with my candles and my like little kit, my little energy midwife kit of like cool shit, and make you lay on the Shakti mat and sing songs and flick feathers and dust and give you plant medicine and help you go to space and put all your bullshit down and kind of filled back up with infinite energy. I got a lot of cool shit going on. My life is so fucking cool. Like, I can't believe this is my life. I get paid to take people into the mountains. I get paid to take people into the mountains and hang out with them in the mountains and talk to them. I get paid to take people on plant medicine ceremonies, plant medicine journeys through ceremonies, play music for them, burn incense, blow feathers around. I eat hot wings in the bathtub all the time. I got kitties. This is Mike. My son calls him Greeple. His name was supposed to be Simba. It's Greeple. Anyway. Okay, I'm out of here now for real. So, I'll see you on Wednesday for Quantum Future Self. May 31st, Butterfly Ball. May 28th, I'm giving my presentation to the Institute for Economics and Peace. Pay what you can. You're able to come to that as well, and the Butterfly Ball virtual. We're delivering like this conservatively, like financially conservatively. This is $1 trillion solution, and I know that sounds fucking crazy. But I know that sounds insane, because how do you even conceptualize that? But we did the math. We did the math. This is how I got paid $250,000 in 1 hour. I didn't get paid yet. It hasn't landed in my bank account yet. But they told me I should ask for more than $250,000 in an hour. So if I've made $250,000 in 1 hour, I can do it again. And so can you. I'm not special. I'm just stubborn as fuck. And I write my visions down, and I make them 20 years into the future. And I love myself unapologetically. And I've been to all the places, and I don't want to go back there anymore. So see you on Wednesday. See you in my stories. See you tomorrow for my live every day until the butterfly ball. Goodbye.